The secret origin of Tricolour.
The Olympic Games. Is there any spectacle more grand? Is there any contest more demanding? And this Olympics is more demanding than most, because it is hosted in the heart of the Third Reich itself. And with a touch, the match is over. But the citizens of the Reich didn't come to see their own defeated by a French swordstress. Sabrine Tricolour smiles, knowing she has just claimed her third gold medal.
C'est bon, un concours magnifique.
Later, a strange visitor arrives.
Hello? Who is that?
I have come to tell you that you are, how would the French say it? Incroyable.
Pardon, but this room is private.
Private? Why, my dear, from now on, you will keep nothing private from me.
I do not like your tone.
Not to worry, my beautiful flower. I'm here to change your mind.
That is it. What are you doing to my mind?
You're in no position anymore to make demands.
Years pass. A war begins. France falls. And in defeat, the Vichy French collaborate with the German war machine. But a brave few remain true to their country.
Vite! We have to get these supplies to the rest of the French underground. With these munitions, we'll be able to push the Han out of our beloved city forever. P.S. Who is that there?
If it isn't a bunch of pigs lining up at the trial of treachery. Well, we know what happens to traitorous pigs. They fall at the brilliant blade of the Belle Vichy. So, pigs, is there anything you have to say before we finish this? Stop that! Stop singing that filthy song at once! Stop it!
The bell grabs the leader of the resistance fighters and shakes him, trying to quiet the notes of her once national anthem. But as she shakes him, his cravat loosens and out comes a symbol that she once held dear. Although she tries to tear away the offending fabric, the stunning swordstress finds herself paralyzed. And from her immobile form, she begins to feel the glowing pride of one's mother country.
The Germans have taken everything from me. My mind, my body, my heart. But they could not take that which I hold most dear. The French flag, la Tricolour. Come on, mes amis. It's time to show these fools what it means to be a Frenchman.
Sabrine Tricolour makes a solemn vow.
That German troll has taken my identity and created a new one in its place. So, from this day, I say goodbye to the woman I was and the monster he created, and vow that they shall be avenged by Tricolour!
Welcome back, good viewer. This is the Skyrider, and there we saw the origin of the French swordstress Tricolour. And she spins her sword rather nicely there. I must say that I do rather like the French national anthem, musically speaking, that is. Because the lyrics are sort of fairly typical of any national anthem, and sort of talk of taking up arms against barbaric foes or something. I can't remember, I'm probably misrepresenting that, but I just seem to remember the lyrics of the French national anthem being quite sort of violent and so on and so forth. But musically, I rather like it. But then, you know, as I've said before, I'm not really a fan of nationalism. So, time to train up our heroes before we head into the fray. Alchemists. We will buy Arcane Blast, her top power of sorcery, and fully upgrade that for the perfect 600 points. It wasn't 600 points, was it? It was something like 600, I don't know. But for all of her CP. Blackjack. Quite expensive to upgrade, unfortunately, Blackjack's powers. But we will upgrade Forks Flasher and Rapid Fire. Yeah, that is one disadvantage. I think I probably should have given the experience canister to Blackjack rather than Tombstone last time. Maybe. I'm not sure. Eve. Her abilities, thankfully, are far less expensive to upgrade. Well, not far less expensive, but are less expensive to upgrade than in the last game. Swarm of Arrows, however, is still absurdly expensive. Not sure if it's worth it myself. But then I've never really managed to upgrade Eve that far and used her in game, but maybe later, we'll see. And fully upgrade Arrow, of course, which is the power that she uses most often, so that's good. Mentor, we will just buy Cortical Suppression, which is a much higher tier ability than the last game. Minuteman, we haven't seen Minuteman for a while. Haven't used him a lot. But later on, though, good viewer, the valiant leader of Freedom Force will be seen later on. Vanquish for Minuteman, rather useful double tapping ability. The Ant, everybody's favourite. We will buy Pincer Punch. Very expensive, that's the only thing we can buy, but well worth it. In my opinion, Pincer Punch is a very powerful ability. And finally, Tombstone, 1619 CP. We will get Dead Reckoning, upgrade that. So we'll have Power Devour for next time. We'll drop a point into Dead Mind and another point into Phantom Punch. Yes, Dead Reckoning again, sort of pretty expensive, but very powerful energy-based melee attack for Tombstone there. Okay, so here we see Blackjack and Tricolour looking on at a video of Bullet. Quite how they got it, I don't know, but a video nonetheless. And a new hero as well, whoever he may be. It's also just occurred to me that I need to recruit a new hero before we move on. Who should that be, good viewer? I genuinely am not sure at this stage. Man of War I am quite tempted by, but then I'm also sort of thinking that, you know, I should try and show off other heroes. So there's Man of War, there's Quetzalcoatl. If only to get, you know, these heroes in for one mission. I think that's quite a good idea to show them off. I'm genuinely not sure, good viewer. But rather than waste time, I'll go out on a limb and get the Bard. Because I think there is a mission with which we can use the Bard later on. And, you know, it's typical of me, isn't it? So, let's move on, good viewer, and see what our World War II heroes are going to do about Bullet.
I don't care if you think I've gone balmy. These blokes are from the future, and they've got all kinds of superpowers.
I think our chum Blackjack has had one too many pints of bitter.
Right then, for the last time, I've had about enough of you and your sarcasm, Yank.
Was that a threat, Jumpin' Jack?
Oh, that's right, Rich, coming from you, Flyboy. Oh, that's right. The flying pack of yours doesn't exactly say fly, now does it?
Sacre bleu! If you fools want to fight, why don't you go find a Nazi? Now pay attention. We have work to do. Whether you believe in their powers or not, one of the Americans is being held prisoner in Blitzkrieg's dungeon. If we don't get him out of there, you know what will happen.
So you're proposing we run off and maybe get ourselves killed for someone you claim is from the future and runs faster than lightning?
No, mon ami. I am suggesting we run off and maybe get ourselves killed for someone who is willing to stand up to Blitzkrieg and his pigs. Do you need another reason?
Let's go.
That's right, Mr. Stewart. Let's go. We can see Sky King there, who is doing the actor there is clearly doing an impression of Jimmy Stewart. Not an actor I'm particularly familiar with, I must admit, but I just know that that's a Jimmy Stewart impression. But anyway, yes, you can see here our team has been pre-chosen for us. No Energy X to help us out of this one, good viewer. We're going to have to rely on something other than superpowers for this one. But I'm sure that our trio here are up to the challenge. So, good viewer, let's go and rescue Bullet. Let's enter the fray.
Now, you say this Bullet character looks kinda like me? Handsome fella, I suppose.
I don't see the resemblance. Beyond two Yanks both tarted up like tins of bully beef.
Oh, it's conversations like this that make me wish I never learned English.
I love that. Just the banter that goes on between these three, you know, Blackjack and Sky King at each other's throats, and Tricolour's just sitting there thinking, oh, sacré bleu, zut alors.
Oui.
Yes, sir.
Well, she's probably not thinking that, actually, because those are just ridiculous French stereotypes. It's like enchanté, enchanté is a complete stereotype. According to, or at least according to some French friends of mine, that's a term that's very rarely used in France. Unless, like, talking to royalty or something, it's just an overly formal thing, apparently. I'm not sure, but anyway. Here we have Sky King. I never noticed how much of a ramp that was, good viewer. I suppose when you view it from up here, it doesn't look like one.
Ready, mate.
Anyway, yes, we have Sky King, new hero here.
We've got company. Golly, they've got gorillas in this joint.
Those aren't garden variety gorillas. They're some kind of scientific quackery.
Mon Dieu, one of them is moving.
And with new heroes comes new enemies. We also have here the Killerillas, good viewer. Very, very nasty are the Killerillas. Fortunately, I've developed a way of dealing with them.
Stop mucking about.
The number one rule of the Killerillas, good viewer, is do not, under any circumstances, let them get anywhere near you.
My rapier cuts.
And to do this, you blind them and then shoot the crap out of them. Maybe it's just because he's standing on the stairs, but fortunately these guys are sort of... Oh no, wait, they are coming down. But yes, because they're blinded, they...
Delicious monkeys. Oh no, I've seen everything.
Keep clear of them cages. Seems like those banana eaters get right ornery when you get close.
If they
Right,
attack,
ornery.
we must face these horrid new creatures with bravery, as our future friends would say, for freedom!
I like that. The way that Tricolour's, sort of... The fact that these heroes have now really started to build that bond up with
For my
Freedom Force.
country.
I like
Give
that.
the word.
Anyway, yes, I was complaining about Sky King. Loads of weaknesses and resistances and even a deflection down there, as you can see, good viewer. He's very good at deflecting bullets of the piercing variety, not of the Georgian, Alabaman fighter pilots, whatever southern state bullets from. But yes, he will deflect bullets, and he can resist a lot of attacks. So he's actually a reasonably good tank, quite similar to Manbot in that sense. Yes, and he also got a lot of piercing attacks.
What next?
Here with his chain gun, similar to bullets, attack and steel fists, a standard crushing attack. That's all of these heroes really have, actually. Well, Blackjack's got an acid attack, but most of them are all just crushing and piercing because they don't have any superpowers. Killerilla's good viewer.
Fire it up!
As I said, very dangerous, and they hit like about 10 trucks if you let them. So if you blind them, then they won't be able to attack with their whips, and they'll apparently just lose confidence and stand there. Uh-oh. So if you use Tricolour to blind them, and then Blackjack and Sky King to shoot them. And if that doesn't work, give it a powered up thing. Oh, good. He dodged it. Because the whips hurt, definitely. The whips that the Killerillas wield definitely hurt, but it's their melee attacks that really just completely destroy you. If you get hit by... Well, put it this way, good viewer. Would you prefer to be hit by a whip or a gorilla? Now, of course, neither is particularly pleasant, but I would rather be whipped in the face. Do you want to get whipped in the face? Sorry. Yu-Gi-Oh! The British series reference there. Or would you rather get punched by a gorilla? Because let me tell you, good viewer, a gorilla could quite easily rip any one of you apart. It could rip me apart, it would eat me for breakfast. Well, probably wouldn't eat me for breakfast, but if a gorilla feels threatened, then you, good viewer, are fracked. You are royally fracked. Nobody stands any sort of chance against a gorilla. I know sort of they're quite known as being quite peaceful creatures and sort of generally sort of gentle giants, which they can be, but yeah, if you piss off a gorilla, you're a dead person. And not just a very painful dead person. So, basically, good viewer, in this game, that is reflected, and you don't want to be hit by the gorillas, so punch them, deal with them from a distance, and deal with them one at a time. That is another thing that's very important. Deal with them one at a time. If you get multiple ones in a fight, then it's going to be very painful. Grenadiers, good viewer, are much more frequent than when we met them last time. Good. Means that upgraded Fork Splasher is paying off. The sound of the kaboom! Keep going, Tricolour. Wow, we're doing really well here, good viewer. No damage at all from any of the enemies as of yet. Yeah, Grenadiers. The grenades have a very nasty... will do a lot of damage and stun you a lot. That's something that wasn't really made clear in the last mission, I felt, mainly because I was killing them or was focused on Red Sun. But you need to be careful about that.
There's Bullet. Jolly good. Oh, but this door is locked tight. We'll need to find some way to open it.
Okay, good viewer. So... ooh, hang on. Goose-stepping Nazi there. Tricolour, go in for it. And... okay, yep. Never mind, mate. Go after Blackjack. Wow. The AI of some of these characters, some of these enemies can be rather silly sometimes. Or maybe he was running away to try and shoot Tricolour. I suppose that would make sense. But still, that's one less Nazi for us to deal with. So, good viewer, we must now find some switches in order to deal with... oh, now they got after Tricolour. Oh, grenades. Okay, now we're starting to take damage. Yes, as you see there, good viewer, he's resistant to a lot of attacks. Still, 14 damage. That's pretty nasty. Blind them. And yeah, of course, they also have nasty stunning capabilities as well. So, I would personally recommend making the Grenadiers your priority. Okay, start punching him, gentlemen. That guy's stupid enough to try to take on 2 guys at once. There we go, excellent. Okay, no switches in this room, good viewer. Ooh, change up the powers again. Hang on. What's... oh, I didn't know it is F2. I was pressing the wrong button. Okay, there we go. Changing their standard attacks back. So, yes, you have to use switches to unlock Bullet's cell, and those will change. The rooms in which they are will change depending on depending on each playthrough. So that's rather good. Okay, a couple of Killarillas in here, good viewer. And I would thoroughly recommend not trying to take them on. Mainly because... yeah, so that health canister is fool's gold, really, good viewer. Don't go for it, it's not worth it. You'll just lose the health and then some trying to take on both of those guys at once. Because I'm pretty sure that if you go down there, you'll open up both cages at once, and that is the problem. Because 1 Killarilla you can deal with, 2, you'll start taking way more damage than is worth it to get that health canister. Open up this one. No switch in there, but there is a Killarilla.
Hey, check out that switch.
Oh no, there is.
Or maybe it'll open up Bullet's cell, you think?
Maybe Sky King. Okay. Right, so blind the Killarilla.
The sky's the limit.
This is going to be rather painful.
That's it. And shoot the Killarilla, who just stands there and takes it. Yeah, so long as you can blind them, you're fine. That is one very useful thing about blinding in this level. Particularly as you've got 2 characters who are capable of blinding. In fact, hang on, Sky King back off. Blackjack, open the door. Oh no, it's another Killarilla.
Who is that?
It's me. It's Hans. Don't worry. Damien. That's Damien. That's not a German name. Do not worry. It is me. It is your friend. Heil Blitzkrieg. No, he's not falling for this, good viewer. Ow. See? 20 damage, and that's just the whip, good viewer. Okay, get out of there. Open things up a bit. Throwing a false flash at Blackjack. Okay, good, they're both blinded. Focus down the Killarilla, if you would, gentlemen.
Let's see how you handle this, mate.
And of course, another good thing about them being blinded is it makes their whips a lot less accurate. Ooh, back off, that was close. Keep shooting. Good, down he goes. No canisters in there. Okay.
For my country.
Blackjack, you grab that health canister. Tricolour, hit the switch. Sky King, head to the next door.
There was not enough. There must be some kind of backup in place that keeps Bullet under lock and key. We must find it without delay.
Yes, 2 switches in the compound, good viewer. But it's also worth noting that taking out all the Nazis is a secondary objective, which doesn't include the Killarillas. But yes, you saw there the powers of the Killarilla's whips.
As you command.
And that's, like I said, that's just their whips. Their melee attacks are just devastating. They will not only just do a shit ton of damage on their own, but they will also send your character flying, whoever is unfortunate enough to get hit by them. And of course, the full damage will then in turn do us another crap ton of damage. Oh, that was stupid.
For my country.
Okay, Tricolour. And of course,
now feel my
another thing to be wary of, good viewer.
No, that wasn't so hard. Here's that backup we were looking for. I guess we better use it to get that bullet fella out of his cell.
I'm guessing so, Sky King. Yeah. Another thing to be wary of, good viewer, is, well, two things. One, if you engage the Grenadiers, obviously they won't be able to use their grenades. And another thing is that Tricolour, of course, will enrage. She has a 5% chance of enraging, like that, whenever she gets hit by something. So my advice? Run away when... What? Oh, you bastards. Okay, fine. Tricolour, res yourself. That's just annoying. Okay, blind that Grenadier. Run, Tricolour. Finish him off. Got him, okay. Gentlemen, take out this chap. Oh, quick. Okay, you revive yourself as well, Blackjack. Oh dear, okay. We need to send... Oh no! Who didn't... Tricolour didn't grab... What? No, Blackjack didn't. That's odd. I sent someone to grab that health canister and they never did. That's very peculiar. Okay, Blackjack, hit that second switch.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I rather like this mission. It must be said.
That'll do it. Good thing too. With all this monkey business, I'm knackered.
Monkey business. I see what you did there.
What next?
It's just, it is sort of like, how to describe it? It's just there's something about not using Energy X to take out the Nazis. It's just, it's a very different dynamic when you're using these heroes to an Energy X powered heroes. You know, there's a difference between El Diablo blasting a guy with fire and Sky King sitting there tanking the bullets and deflecting them and taking out the Nazis like that. Anyway, yeah, that's quite a good tactic, good viewer. If you're facing off against just a bunch of gun wielders, stick Sky King in the doorway and just have him shoot them down, because he'll deflect some of the bullets and
stop mucking about.
He'll be resistant to the other bits of damage. So of course it'll still do damage to him, but he can sort of take it. And plus it's even better when you're using characters like Tricolour to stab them in the face, because Tricolour stabbing them in the face does a lot of damage. There we go. Like I said, I'm just going to take out all the Nazis here for the purposes of secondary objectives. Oh, and there's a prestige canister. Yes, I forgot about that. Okay, Blackjack, back off. Tricolour, take out that Grenadier.
Now feel my full fury.
That
How do you like it?
full fury. That's not particularly effective if they're going to dodge you.
Is just.
That's more like it. Okay. You gentlemen shoot that guy and grab the prestige canister. Excellent. Okay. Okay. Pretty simple. And that's good, because the first half of this mission is a lot trickier than the second. Do I want to bother? Nah. I've got plenty of health, and that's just a time waster, so we don't need that health canister.
Oh, those machines seem to be sucking the very life from the poor sod. Better take them out before we try to free him. Mind the gap. Looks like a nasty tumble.
It's those costumed allied fools! Destroy them, or face the wrath of Blitzkrieg himself!
Now you fellas have gone and made me mad. Nobody likes me when I'm mad.
Sky King smash! Sky King smash! Okay, never mind. We'll send, no, not off the cuff. Wait, hang on. Wait for it, good viewer. Fork Splasher, in you go.
I should act to defend myself.
Pretty good, 3 for 4, I'll take that. Okay, Tricolour in the meantime, take out the other one. Blackjack, start, where's the Grenadier? There's the Grenadier. So you always want to focus those bastards first.
My cause is just.
And of course these guys can't shoot, so they're just standing there. That's the effectiveness of Fork Splasher, good viewer. And almost. Bingo! Secondary objective complete, that's all the Nazis. Okay, that was pretty simple. That was much more simple than I was expecting, still. Okay. Nice one, Tricolour. try not to shoot her next time, Blackjack.
Feel my blade.
There we go. Boom, good viewer.
Tearing up that crowd equipment must have released me from that machine. You all can come up to my house for pie anytime you like. Oh, hey there, Tricolour.
Bonjour, Monsieur Bullet.
And is that Sky King? Hey there, how are you, sir? Might I say I'm a big fan.
I like him already.
Now on to the $2 question. How do I get across this pit? I may be fast, but I don't got wings. It's times like this I wish those wings weren't just for show, mate. Might come in handy in a spot like this.
I've modified them so they can slow a fall, but can't just seem to make the darn thing get airborne.
Sky King, if I may, have you tried reversing the polarity of the neutron flow in the transistors?
Reversing the... Why, that's the stupidest thing I ever... Well, now, hold on a minute. You know, that just might...
Woohoo! Well, if that don't take the biscuit.
Now, see here, Bullet. How do you know so much about my jetpack?
I read about it when I was a kid, in one of your comic books. In fact, in the May 1954 issue.
When you were a kid? Why, you're older than I am.
Right, mate. I see you haven't sussed out the whole bullet is from the future thing yet.
Perhaps we can save the metaphysical discussion for another time. Or have you forgotten? We've a war to win.
Oh, I love time paradoxes. What's that one called again? The one where, like, you... Oh, I can't remember what it's called. The time paradox where you send someone back into the past to... Someone goes back into the past with knowledge of something, but it's that knowledge that causes the thing that creates the knowledge to be created in the first place. I.e., Sky King didn't know that, but it's only because Bullet, who was in the future, knew that he could tell him, so that then Sky King's comics could tell Bullet in the future. Anyway, time paradoxes, they make your heads hurt. I've also got to say, I love the fact that Bullet is such a fanboy. I also love the fact that the writers put in the phrase, reverse the polarity of the neutron flow, which is one of those phrases that it comes from, I don't know if it originally comes from this, but Doctor Who used it a lot, like classic Doctor Who way back in the 70s. Like, for any kind of scientific random phrase, they would just say, reverse the polarity of the neutron flow, and I have no fucking idea what that means. I just love the fact that that phrase is in there. Yeah, took out all but 2 of the Tricolours, which, as I said, well, I probably could have taken them out, but, oh well, better safe than sorry. Oh well, next time, perhaps. Oh well, maybe I should have done, I don't know. If something is off by 100 prestige points, then I'll blame myself. But for now, that's okay. But otherwise, very good, yes. And we have rescued Bullet, so now all that remains, good viewer, is to get out of here. Which may not be as easy as it sounds. But I will reverse the polarity of the neutron flow of my mic, and I will see you next time. I don't know why I said that either. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Skyrider. Farewell until we meet again.